Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a special topic that could turn a simple penny you find in your pocket into a small fortune. Have you ever wondered if that old penny you have lying around could be worth something more than its face value? Well, you might be sitting on a rare treasure and not even know it. Today, we'll talk about the 2009 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's been creating quite a buzz among collectors and investors. Whether you've been collecting coins for years or are just starting, this video will give you everything you need to know about this fascinating piece of American history. Stick around. This could change the way you look at your spare change. Historical background. The 2009 Abraham Lincoln penny is special for a number of reasons. It was issued to mark the bicentennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, which occurred in 1809. The United States Mint decided to release a series of pennies in honor of Lincoln's legacy, featuring several unique reverse designs that represented key moments in his life. This was the first time in over 50 years that the penny's reverse design had been changed. The year 2009, marking 200 years since Lincoln's birth, was a significant moment in American history, and the U.S. Mint wanted to create a coin that reflected that importance. Now, you may wonder, why the penny? Abraham Lincoln has always been associated with the penny ever since he became the face of the coin in 1909, the first time the U.S. Mint featured a president on a regular circulating coin. Fast forward to 2009, and the decision to feature Lincoln once again on the penny in a more commemorative way was a powerful tribute to his contributions to the country. How to identify a genuine 2009 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny? So, how do you know if you have one of these rare pennies? Well, the 2009 Lincoln pennies can be identified by the unique designs featured on the reverse of the coin. There are 4 distinct designs released in 2009, each one representing a different part of Lincoln's life. The birthplace design showing a log cabin where Lincoln was born in Kentucky. The formative years design depicting Lincoln reading in a log cabin. The professional life design featuring Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois State Capitol, symbolizing his rise as a lawyer and politician. The presidency design, this final design shows Lincoln giving his famous speech at the Lincoln Memorial. The key to identifying a genuine 2009 penny is to look for these design details on the reverse. Of course, you also want to check the obverse, which still features Lincoln's portrait, unchanged since 1909. One additional thing to note is the mint mark, which will appear under the date on the coin. This is especially important because it tells you where the coin was minted. Coins from different mints have different marks. The Philadelphia Mint doesn't use a mint mark, while the Denver Mint uses a D, and the San Francisco Mint uses an S. Key details to look for: weight. The 2009 Lincoln penny weighs 2.5 grams. Material. Like all modern pennies, it is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Mint marks. Look for the letters D, S, or no mark at all. These indicate where the penny was made. Errors. Some 2009 pennies have errors, and they can be valuable. For example, the 2009 D penny from the Denver Mint in particular has some known errors where the design is misaligned, making it rarer and more valuable. Why this coin is rare or valuable? The 2009 Abraham Lincoln penny is not inherently rare in terms of production numbers. It was widely circulated, after all. However, certain factors can make this penny stand out. First, the unique designs make these coins particularly sought after by collectors, as they celebrate an important moment in American history. Second, the rarity and value of these coins are mostly tied to their condition. Coins that are in excellent or uncirculated condition are much more valuable than those that have been worn down by years of use. Additionally, coins with minting errors, such as double dies or misaligned prints, can also fetch a much higher price due to their rarity. Current market value in different conditions. Now, let's talk about what you can expect in terms of value. If you have a 2009 Abraham Lincoln penny, the value will depend on its condition and rarity. Here's a quick breakdown: worn or circulated. A 2009 penny that has been through circulation, meaning it has seen a lot of use, will usually be worth only its face value of 1 cent uncirculated. A penny that hasn't been used in circulation and has been well preserved could be worth between 10 to 25 cents. Not a huge profit, but still something. Minted errors. If you happen to have a 2009 penny with a minting error, you could be looking at much higher values. Some error coins have sold for anywhere between $100 and $1,000 depending on the rarity of the error and the demand from collectors. Real auction examples. In recent years, some 2009 pennies have been sold for impressive amounts. For example, a 2009 S-proof Lincoln penny in perfect uncirculated condition has sold for over $30. A rare 2009 D penny with a significant minting error, known as a double die, was auctioned for over $1,000. While these examples are exceptional, they show just how valuable a seemingly ordinary penny can become when the right conditions align. Conclusion. So, what does all of this mean for you? If you find a 2009 Lincoln penny, especially one with any kind of minting error or in uncirculated condition, you may have more than just a penny. You could be sitting on a rare and valuable piece of American history. While finding a rare coin in your pocket change is not guaranteed, it's worth taking the time to check your spare change every once in a while. You never know what you might find. Call to action. If you've learned something new today or think you might have a rare coin hiding in your change jar, make sure to take a closer look at those pennies. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos about valuable coins, rare finds, and everything you need to know about coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Have you ever wondered if the pennies sitting in your change jar could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? What if I told you that a simple 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark might just be the hidden treasure you've been looking for? Stay with me because this unassuming coin could change everything. Welcome to the channel where we explore rare coins, coin collecting tips, and the hidden value in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the 1966 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but there's more than meets the eye. For those of you who grew up using these coins daily, you'll find this journey into history, value, and hidden errors both nostalgic and exciting. So sit back, relax, and let's take a walk down memory lane, 1 cent at a time. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Fast forward to 1966, and America was in a transitional time. The mid-60s brought changes to coin production due to a national coin shortage and rising metal costs. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision. They removed mint marks from all coins produced at branch mints to discourage coin hoarding. This policy continued through 1967, which is why the 1966 Lincoln penny, although made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, does not have any mint marks. So, if your 1966 penny has no mint mark, don't be alarmed, that was intentional. Now, let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Start by flipping over any penny dated 1966. Look closely under the date on the obverse side, which is the side with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. If there is no small letter such as AD for Denver or an S for San Francisco, you're holding a no mint mark coin, and that's exactly what we want. But how do you know it's genuine? First, examine the edge. It should be smooth with no reading or ridges. Then check the overall color and luster. A genuine 1966 penny will have a coppery tone unless it has been heavily circulated. Here are some important details every collector should know. Year, 1966 mint marks, none. By design composition, 95% copper, 5% zinc weight, approximately 3.11 grams diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Designer, Victor David Brenner. And now, a very important part, errors. There are several known error types for the 1966 penny that can increase its value significantly. These include double die obverse, where the date and lettering appear doubled off, center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned, die cracks, visible lines or breaks in the surface of the coin, clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin appears cut off. So, you might ask, if there are millions of these, why are they valuable? That's a great question. While the 1966 penny itself isn't rare by mintage numbers, over 2.1 billion were produced. Certain conditions and errors make specific coins incredibly valuable to collectors. Uncirculated and proof-like examples are especially sought after, and error coins can be worth a small fortune. Also, coins that have survived in mint condition after nearly 60 years are becoming more and more scarce. Coins graded and certified by professional services like PCGS or NGC carry significantly higher market value. Let's talk dollars and cents. A warn. Circulated 1966 penny with no mint mark is usually worth its face value or perhaps a few cents to a collector. A lightly circulated coin in good condition may fetch between 10 and 50 cents. An uncirculated example, especially with sharp detail and luster, can sell for $5 to $20. Certified coins in high mint state grades like MS65 or higher have sold for $50 to $200. And get this, a 1966 penny with a strong double die error and certified as MS67 read by PCGS sold at auction for over $200-300. Yes, a penny worth over $2,000. That's the power of condition, certification, and error types. So what does all this mean for you? If you've got a jar full of old change or inherited a coin collection from a parent or grandparent, take a closer look. That little 1966 no mint mark penny might just be a hidden gem. You could be sitting on a valuable piece of American history without even knowing it. Check for sharp details, vibrant red coloring, and unusual errors. If you think you've found something special, consider having it professionally graded. Who knows, you might get lucky and find a penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Before you go rummaging through your coin jar, do me a small favor. Hit that subscribe button for more videos about rare coins, valuable pennies, and everything you need to know about coin collecting. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden treasures in your own home. And remember, always check your change. You never know what might be waiting in your pocket. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Have you ever emptied your pocket change and wondered if one of those old pennies might be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that a simple 1973 Lincoln penny, especially one with no mint mark, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? That's right. In this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny. If you enjoy collecting coins, or you're just curious about what treasures might be hiding in your coin jar, then this is a story you don't want to miss. Whether you've been collecting coins for decades or you're just getting started, this video will walk you through everything you need to know slowly and clearly about this potentially rare and valuable penny. Let's start with a little bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it replaced the Indian head cent that had been in circulation since 1859. By 1973. The Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse side of the penny had been in use for 14 years. This design, created by Frank Gasparo, features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and if you look closely enough, you can actually see a tiny image of the statue of Lincoln seated inside. The 1973 penny was struck during a time of rising inflation and increasing interest in coin collecting. Over 5.8 billion Lincoln pennies were minted that year, making it seem like a very common coin. But here's where things get interesting. When it comes to spotting a genuine 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny, there are a few things to pay close attention to. First, look at the front of the coin. You'll see Lincoln's profile facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1973 to the right. Now, right beneath the date, you may notice something or nothing at all. That's the key. If there's no letter beneath the date, that means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Philadelphia did not use a mint mark on pennies in 1973, which is why you'll often hear this referred to as the no mint mark version. While most of these coins are quite common, there are some with errors, unusual features, or in pristine condition that make them highly collectible and quite valuable. Here are the basic specifications for the 1973 Lincoln penny. Weight: 3.11 grams. Material: 95% copper, 5% zinc. Diameter: 19 millimeters. Mint marks: pennies from Philadelphia will have no mint mark. Coins from Denver will have a D, and those from San Francisco will have an S. So when you find a 1973 penny with no letter under the date, you're looking at a coin from the Philadelphia Mint. While that doesn't automatically mean it's valuable, some examples are. What really drives up the price are errors, high grades, and condition. So why are some 1973 no mint mark Lincoln pennies valuable? The answer lies in rarity and condition. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, meaning they were used in everyday transactions and show signs of wear. But coins that were set aside early and preserved in excellent condition, what collectors call mint state, can be worth significantly more. Even more valuable are those that show rare errors, such as double die obverse, where the lettering or Lincoln's features appear doubled, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Certified coins graded by companies like PCGS or NGC and rated MS65 or higher can fetch high prices at auctions. In the coin collecting world, these small details can make a massive difference. Now, let's talk numbers. Here's what a 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might be worth in today's market, depending on its condition. Worn condition or heavy circulation, 1 to 5 cents. Still common. Light circulation with minimal wear, 10 to 50 cents. Uncirculated condition, $1 to $5. Certified mint state, $25 to $1.50. Rare error coins or high-grade examples. Some have sold for over $2,000. These prices can fluctuate based on demand and the rarity of the individual coin's features. Here are a few real-life examples of 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies that sold for impressive amounts. A 1973 no-mint mark penny graded MS67 read by PCGS sold at auction $4 for $100. Another example with a double die obverse error went for over $1,200. Even more modest examples graded MS65 have sold for around $75 to $100 depending on the quality of the strike and the luster of the coin. These coins might be hiding in old coffee cans, drawers, or inherited collections. It really does pay to look carefully. So what's the takeaway? That ordinary-looking penny from 1973 sitting in your change jar or tucked away in an old wallet might just be your lucky coin. While most are worth just a cent or two, the rare and high-grade examples can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Whether you're a long-time collector or someone who just enjoys the thrill of the hunt, it's always worth checking your change. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content about rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips. And before you go, take a moment to look through your change. You might just find a 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and if you're lucky, it could change your life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a small coin that could make a big difference in your life. That's right, the 1979 D-Mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's just a penny. But don't be so quick to judge. This humble coin might be worth far more than 1 cent, especially if you have the right one. Some rare versions of the 1979 D-penny have been sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auction. That if you've got an old jar of change lying around, or maybe a collection passed down from a loved one, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. So stay with me as we explore the story behind this coin, how to spot a valuable one, and what makes it so special. The 1979 Lincoln penny is part of a long-running series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. For decades, this coin has been a staple in American currency, and its design has remained mostly unchanged. In 1979, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies at various locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The penny from Denver, identified by the small D mint mark just below the date, is the one we're focusing on today. Though 1979 was not a particularly rare year for the penny in general, certain versions of the 1979 D Lincoln cent have stood out to collectors due to unusual errors, unique features, and minting anomalies. So how can you tell if you have a genuine 1979 D penny that might be valuable? First, take a good look at the obverse side. That's the front of the coin. You should see Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right. Just below the year 1979, look for a small D. That's the Denver Mint mark. The coin should have a smooth copper surface unless it's heavily worn. The lettering should be clean and clear. "In God We Trust" along the top, "Liberty" to the left, and 1979 D to the right. If you flip the coin over to the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial Building. Look closely at the details, the columns, the steps, and even the tiny statue of Lincoln inside should all be visible, especially on coins in better condition. Here are the technical details you'll want to keep in mind. Weight, 3.11 grams diameter, 19 millimeters composition, 95% copper, 5% zinc mint mark, D design. Abraham Lincoln on the front, Lincoln Memorial on the back also. Look out for error coins. These are the real prize. Some 1979 D pennies have double dies, off-center strikes, or issues with the mint mark. A double die, for example, makes the lettering appear slightly blurry or doubled, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Now, you might be asking, why would a 1979 penny be worth anything more than 1 cent? Great question. While most 1979 D pennies are common, a small number of them were struck with errors that are now highly sought after by collectors. Minting errors are like misprints in old books, rare and valuable because they are unique.in edition. Some coins have been preserved in excellent, almost perfect condition, never having been circulated. These are known as uncirculated coins, and if they've been certified by a professional grading service, they can fetch impressive prices. Let's talk dollars and cents. Literally, worn condition. Most 1979 D pennies that have been in circulation are worth just face value, maybe 2 to 3 cents to a collector who wants to fill a slot in a coin book. Circulated but in better shape, if your coin still has some shine and detail, it might be worth 10 to 25 cents. Uncirculated condition, a 1979 D penny with no wear and bright, original luster can bring in $1 to $5 or more, depending on quality. Certified coins, if your penny is graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, its value jumps significantly. Some have sold for $50 to $150 error coins. Now this is where it gets exciting. A 1979 D penny with a noticeable double die or other minting error can be worth anywhere from $100 to over $1,000 depending on how rare and dramatic the error is. Let's look at some real-world examples. A 1979 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 red by PCGS. That's nearly perfect, sold at auction for over $200. Another 1979 D penny with a strong die clash error was sold for $450. Even lightly circulated coins with rare minting anomalies have sold for over $100 online and at coin shows. So, what does all this mean for you? It means that you might be walking around with a small fortune in your pocket. That jar of pennies in your kitchen could be holding a rare 1979 D penny worth real money. All it takes is a little patience, a good magnifying glass, and a sharp eye for detail. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. For some, it's a way to discover hidden value in everyday objects. And for a lucky few, it's even been a way to get rich. So don't wait. Check your change. Look through that old coin jar. And if you find a 1979 D Lincoln penny, take a closer look. It might just be your lucky day. And before you go, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have more videos coming up about rare pennies, coin collecting tips, and valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Have you ever looked down at a penny in your hand and wondered if it might be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, today we're going to take a closer look at a very special coin that could be hiding in plain sight, the 1984 D Lincoln penny. This coin, which most people would simply toss into a jar or drop into a vending machine, might actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. If you're a fan of rare pennies, valuable coins, or simply love the thrill of treasure hunting, you're going to want to stay with me to the end of this video. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. The 1984 D Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series that began all the way back in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This was the first time a U.S. president had ever been featured on a circulating American coin. The penny has undergone a few design changes over the decades, but the front side, or obverse, still proudly features the bust of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The 1984 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is where the D mint mark comes from. That little letter just under the year tells us where the coin was produced. In 1984, billions of pennies were made, but not all of them are created equal, and that's where things get interesting. So how can you tell if you've got a genuine 1984 D Lincoln penny that's potentially valuable? First, flip the coin and look at the date. You're looking for a 1984 penny with a small D right below the year. That D stands for Denver Mint. Next, examine Lincoln's bust, especially around his ear. Some of the valuable 1984 pennies have a doubling error where you can see a faint outline or shadow of a second ear, often referred to by collectors as the doubled ear error. However, most of the known doubled die errors come from the Philadelphia Mint, meaning they do not have a mint mark. So for the 1984D version, you are looking primarily for other quality and condition factors rather than this specific doubling. Let's go over some of the technical details. The 1984D Lincoln Penny weighs about 2.5 grams. It is composed mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. This change in material came about in 1982 due to rising copper costs. Prior to that, pennies were mostly copper. The diameter is 19 millimeters and the edge is smooth. There are no reeded lines like you would find on a dime or quarter. Now you might be asking, if there were billions of these made, what makes any of them valuable? The answer lies in two main factors, condition and errors. Although most 1984D pennies are common and only worth face value, there are a few that have stood the test of time and remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors will pay a premium for high-grade examples certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. And while the famous doubled ear variety is usually associated with the Philadelphia Mint, any rare die variations, misstrikes, or off-center errors on a 1984D penny could make it highly desirable. Let's talk numbers. Because that's what we're all here for. A heavily worn 1984D penny will usually just be worth its face value. 1 cent. A circulated example in decent condition might be worth a few cents to a collector looking to complete a set. An uncirculated 1984D penny, especially one that's never been used and shows no signs of wear, could sell for $1 to $5. But here's where it gets exciting. A certified 1984D penny in mint state condition, graded MS66 or higher, can sell for much more. Some examples have sold for over $100 or even $200 at auction, depending on the demand and quality. Let me give you a few real-world examples. In recent years, a 1984D Lincoln Penny graded MS67 by PCGS, which means it is nearly perfect, sold for over $500. And another certified by NGC in similar condition brought in nearly $400. These are not ordinary pennies. They're the kind that sat untouched in coin rolls or were preserved in coin albums for decades. If you happen to find a coin like this in your change or tucked away in an old collection, you might just hit the jackpot. So what does this all mean for you? It means that hidden in a coffee can, an old piggy bank, or even in your wallet, there could be a coin worth far more than its face value. The 1984D Lincoln Penny may not look like much at first glance, but in the right condition and with the right features, it could be a treasure. Coin collecting is one of the few hobbies where anyone, of any age, can strike gold, or in this case, copper and zinc. You don't need to be an expert. All you need is a sharp eye, a little patience, and maybe a magnifying glass. So here's what I want you to do next. Go check your change jar. Look through those old coin rolls you've had sitting around for years. You never know what you might find. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, coin collecting tips, and valuable coins you might already own, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty more videos coming that could help you turn pocket change into profit. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Hello and welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden treasures that might just be sitting in your pocket. Have you ever wondered if that penny in your change jar is worth more than just 1 cent? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating story behind the 1985D Lincoln Penny, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but under the right circumstances, could be worth much more than face value. So grab your magnifying glass, sit back, and let's explore why this little coin has collectors buzzing. To truly understand the value of the 1985D Lincoln Penny, we need to take a step back in time. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was a groundbreaking design, the first American coin to feature a real person and not just a symbolic image. Fast forward to 1985 and the Lincoln penny was still going strong. However, by this time, the U.S. Mint had made some major changes. In 1982, due to the rising cost of copper, the composition of the penny was altered. Instead of being made primarily of copper, pennies were now struck with a core of zinc and coated in a thin layer of copper. The 1985D penny was minted in Denver, Colorado. That's what the D mint mark stands for. This coin is part of the modern Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 until 2008. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 1985D Lincoln penny. First, flip the coin and look just below the date. You should see a small D, that's the Denver mint mark. This confirms that your coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Next, check the back of the coin. You should see the Lincoln Memorial with Abraham Lincoln's statue visible inside if you look closely. A genuine 1985 D penny should have clear, crisp lettering, and Lincoln's profile should be well defined. Any signs of poor detail, blurry text, or strange coloring could indicate a counterfeit or heavily damaged coin. Here are the technical details collectors look for. Weight. A genuine 1985 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. That's because it's made of a zinc core with a copper plating. If you have a scale at home, try weighing your penny. If it weighs around 3.1 grams, it might be one of the rare copper versions, which is much more valuable. Material, zinc coated with copper. But be aware, a few 1985 D pennies were mistakenly struck on copper planchets from before 1982. These are very rare and highly sought after. Errors to look for. Double die obverse. This happens when the design is accidentally struck twice, creating a doubling effect on the date or letters. Off-center strike. A misaligned strike that cuts off part of the design. Clipped planchet. When a portion of the coin is missing due to a cutting error during minting. Wrong planchet errors. These are coins struck on metal blanks meant for other coins, like a dime or foreign currency. Each of these errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. Most 1985 D Lincoln pennies are still only worth a cent, especially if they're worn or heavily circulated. But collectors pay big money for coins in pristine condition or those with rare mint errors. So what makes this coin valuable? It's not the year or design by itself, but the condition and possible errors that turn a common coin into a collector's item. Let's break down the current market value of the 1985 D penny in various conditions. Worn or heavily circulated, still worth about 1 cent. No added value unless it has an error. Lightly circulated, might sell for 10 to 20 cents to the right buyer. Uncirculated, these coins, if stored properly and showing no wear, can sell for between 50 cents to $2. Mint state is professionally graded coins with no scratches or blemishes can be worth between $5 and $15. Certified error coins, these are where things get exciting. A 1985 D penny with a double die or struck on the wrong planchet can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s depending on rarity and condition. Let's take a look at some real auction sales. A 1985 D penny in mint state 67 condition, graded by PCGS, sold for around $115 at auction. Another 1985 D penny with a dramatic off-center strike brought in $140. A rare 1985 D penny struck on a copper planchet instead of the expected zinc, sold for over $1,000. These are real-world examples of what's possible when the right coin meets the right collector. So could you be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it? The answer is yes. If you find a 1985 D Lincoln penny in your change, take a closer look. Check for that D mint mark, weigh it if you can, and look for any oddities or signs of errors. That little coin might just be worth far more than you ever imagined. Before you spend that penny, give it a second look. Check your change, search through old jars, and go through those forgotten drawers. Who knows, the next valuable coin might be right in front of you, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos about rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins to look for. Leave a comment if you've found any interesting coins lately and share this with a friend who might want to take a second look at their change, too. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Hello and welcome. Today we have a fascinating story about a particular penny that could be sitting right in your pocket. Have you ever thought that one of your coins might be worth a lot more than its face value? Well, you might have a hidden treasure in your change and it could be the 1993 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stick with me and I'll show you how to identify this rare coin, why it's so special, and why it might just make you richer than you think. Let's start with the history of this coin. The 1993 D Abraham Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation for more than 100 years. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and since then, the Lincoln penny has gone through various changes and designs. In 1993, the United States Mint produced the regular copper-plated zinc penny, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The D mint mark indicates that this particular penny was minted in Denver, Colorado. While this coin was produced in large quantities and is not inherently rare, certain conditions can make this coin especially valuable to collectors. Now that you know a bit about the history, Let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1993 D Lincoln penny. The first thing to check is the D mint mark. This small letter, located just below Abraham Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse, signifies that the coin was minted in Denver. Next, look for the coin's material. The 1993 penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This is an important detail because some collectors pay extra for pennies made from different materials or those that have errors, which we'll discuss in a bit. The coin weighs about 2.5 grams, which is the standard for modern pennies. It has a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness of 1.52 millimeters. These are all key identifiers that will help you know if you're holding a genuine 1993 D penny. When it comes to coin collecting, small details make a huge difference. Let's talk about some of the key features of the 1993 D penny. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side of the coin is a distinguishing feature of this era. However, as with all coins, some 1993 D pennies may have slight minting errors that make them more valuable. For example, look for double die errors or off-center strikes. These types of errors occur during the minting process and make the coin unique. A double die error happens when the coin is struck twice, creating a slight doubling effect on the date or lettering. This can make certain 1993 D pennies extremely valuable to collectors as they are much rarer than regular coins. Additionally, keep an eye out for any off-center strikes. If the design of the penny seems misaligned or if part of the image is missing, this could be another error that adds value to the coin. You might be wondering, what makes the 1993 D penny so valuable? Well, while the 1993 D penny was produced in large quantities, it's the special, rare versions like those with minting errors that can fetch a higher price. Most of the 1993 D pennies you find will not be worth much more than their face value. However, if you're lucky enough to find one with a minting error or one in pristine condition, it could be worth hundreds of dollars or more. Even though the 1993 D penny is not the rarest coin out there, its value comes from the demand among collectors who search for coins with unique characteristics or errors. It's these factors that turn an ordinary penny into a valuable collector's item. So, what's the current market value of a 1993 D penny? Well, the value of a coin depends on its condition. A worn or circulated penny may only be worth its face value, just 1 cent. However, if the coin is in uncirculated condition or has been certified by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, its value can rise significantly. In excellent condition, a 1993 D penny can be worth anywhere from 10 to 50 cents. However, if you find one with a minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth much more. Some of these rare error coins have sold at auction for anywhere between $100 to $300 and occasionally even more, depending on the specific error and its condition. To give you a real-world example, a 1993 D penny with a notable double die error was recently sold at auction for $250. While this is an extreme case, it shows just how valuable certain versions of this coin can become. Now, you might be thinking, how can I get lucky and find a coin like this? The good news is that many of these pennies are still out there and you might already have one in your change. Coin collecting can be a rewarding hobby and discovering a rare or valuable penny is part of the thrill. So, take a moment to check your spare change. You never know, that 1993 D penny you've been carrying around could be more valuable than you ever imagined. If you're interested in coin collecting, keep an eye out for pennies with minting errors, pristine examples, or anything unusual. With a little luck and knowledge, you could uncover a hidden gem that brings in a small fortune. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos about valuable coins, rare pennies, and tips for collectors. And, of course, check your coins, you might just be sitting on a small treasure. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Have you ever wondered if there's a hidden treasure sitting in your pocket right now? What if I told you that a simple penny, just like the ones you might find in a jar on your dresser, could actually be worth thousands of dollars? In today's video, we're going to explore a fascinating coin, the 2000 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This is one coin collectors and treasure hunters are talking about, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to tell if you've got something truly special. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the story of a little coin that could bring a big surprise. To understand the value of the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny, we need to start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's image and quickly became a staple of American currency. Fast forward to the year 2000 and the Lincoln penny was still going strong. The design featured Lincoln's portrait on the front, or obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, or reverse. It was the last full year before the design started to shift with commemorative changes leading up to the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth in 2009. Most pennies from the year 2000 were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not use a mint mark. So technically, a penny from Philadelphia would have no mint mark by default. But here's where it gets interesting. Some collectors noticed unusual versions of the 2000 Lincoln penny with striking errors, variations in the finish, and other signs that they might be more than just ordinary coins. So how do you identify a genuine 2000 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that might be worth money? First, pick up a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the date on the front of the coin. You want to find one that clearly reads 2000 and has no letter underneath it. If you see a letter like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, it's not the one we're talking about today. Now turn your attention to the overall appearance. Many valuable versions of the 2000 no mint mark penny have die errors or double die features. This means the letters or numbers might look slightly doubled or blurry. Check Liberty, the phrase, "In God We Trust," and the date itself. If they appear thick or layered, you may have a double die variety. Here are some technical details every collector should know. Weight. A standard 2000 Lincoln penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. Material. It is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Mint mark. A genuine no mint mark penny from 2000 means it was struck in Philadelphia. Error varieties. Some of the most valuable 2000 Lincoln pennies include off-center strikes, die cracks, and the highly sought-after wide AM. Reverse variety. Now let's pause for a second on that last one, the wide AM. Most 2000 pennies were made with the letters A and M in America very close together. But a few coins were struck with a wide gap between those two letters. This was a mistake and makes those coins extremely desirable. So why is this penny considered rare? The U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies every year, but only a small fraction of them have these kinds of errors. The wide AM reverse, in particular, was not meant to be used in regular circulation pennies. It was designed for proof coins, but some accidentally made their way onto regular coins and were released into the wild. When you combine a high-quality strike, an unusual error, and the scarcity of these types, collectors start to pay attention. And they're willing to pay top dollar. Now let's talk numbers. A worn 2000 no mint mark penny with no special features is worth just 1 cent. A circulated version with minor errors might fetch anywhere from $5 to $20. An uncirculated penny with no wear could be worth $50 to $100 depending on the buyer. A certified 2000 Lincoln penny with a clear wide AM error or other recognized mistakes can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars at auction. Here are a few real-world examples. One 2000 wide AM penny in near-perfect condition sold for over $2,300 at auction. Another, with a strong double die error, fetched $645 after grading. As always, the exact value depends on condition, rarity, and demand, but make no mistake, there are valuable coins from the year 2000 out there, and they're still being found in everyday change. So what does this all mean for you? It means that right now you could have a valuable 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny sitting in a drawer, a jar, or even in your wallet. All it takes is a sharp eye and a little knowledge. Many people overlook pennies, thinking they're not worth the trouble. But some of these tiny coins are like little lottery tickets just waiting to be discovered. Now it's your turn. Go check your change, your old coin jars, even your penny rolls. If you find a 2000 no mint mark penny, take a close look at it. You might just strike gold with copper. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how you can become a smart coin collector, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We share weekly tips and discoveries to help you spot hidden treasures. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny counts when it comes to collecting. Stay curious and happy hunting. Have you ever glanced at a penny in your change and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that a simple penny, specifically the 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth much more than its face value? In fact, some of these pennies have sold for real money at auction. And yes, they've been found in ordinary pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in recent years, the 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. If you're a coin collector, a history buff, or someone just curious about rare coins hiding in plain sight, you'll want to watch this video to the very end. Let's begin with the story behind the Lincoln penny. First issued in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent has remained a staple in American coinage for over a century. The 2016 version continues this tradition, with the familiar image of Lincoln on the obverse, the front of the coin. On the reverse side, you'll see the Union Shield, introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. Now, what makes the 2016 no-mint mark penny so special? It wasn't a limited edition or a commemorative release. It was mass-produced, yet some of these coins have characteristics and errors that make them highly sought after. Let's talk about how to recognize one of these coins. First, check the date. You're looking for a penny with 2016 on the front. Next, look just below the year. Most coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, so technically, a 2016 penny without a mint mark is normal. But here's where things get interesting. Collectors are looking for certain versions of the 2016 no mint mark penny that have unique errors, including double die errors, where parts of the design, like the date or lettering, appear double off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted, die cracks, which look like raised lines across the surface of the coin, and some even feature a missing or weak design element on either side. These errors can make the coin rare and valuable. Here are the technical specifications you need to know. Weight, 2.5 grams diameter. 19.05 millimeters material. These pennies are made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Color. They have a bright coppery red tone when new, but they may appear brownish if they've been in circulation. And remember, because the Philadelphia Mint does not use a mint mark on pennies, you'll only see the year 2016 with no letter below it. So why would anyone pay more than 1 cent for this coin? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. Most 2016 pennies are worth just 1 cent. But when collectors find one with an error, especially a clear double die or off-center strike, they're willing to pay a premium. Also, if a 2016 no mint mark penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could sell for much more than face value, sometimes even without errors. The top grades are certified by coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are especially valuable. Let's talk numbers. A circulated 2016 penny in average condition is usually worth 1 cent. A lightly circulated one might be worth 10 to 25 cents to a beginner collector. An uncirculated 2016 penny can sell for between $1 and $5. A certified MS 66 to MS 67 grade coin has sold for $20 to $50. But here's where it gets exciting. 2016 pennies with known errors, like a strong double die or off-center strike, have sold at auction for $100 to $300, depending on the clarity of the error and the coin's condition. One verified example of a 2016 no mint mark penny with a dramatic off-center strike sold for over $250 in a 2023 online auction. Now, before you rush off to your coin jar or that drawer full of change, let's be realistic but optimistic. You might not become a millionaire overnight, but finding a rare or high-grade coin could earn you a few extra $100, or even more. And the best part, these coins are still out there, in pocket change, in tip jars, in old coin collections that haven't been looked at in years. You just need to know what to look for. So, the next time you receive a penny, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. If it's a 2016 penny with no mint mark, inspect it carefully for any unusual features or errors. You could be holding a little piece of history, or a small treasure worth far more than 1 cent. If you found this video helpful, informative, or even a little exciting, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We share weekly videos about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips for beginners and seasoned collectors alike. And remember, check your change, because sometimes all it takes is one lucky penny to make your day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have you ever wondered if the spare change in your pocket could be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars? What if I told you that a simple penny from the year 2020 might just hold that kind of hidden value? That's right. One small coin that many people overlook every single day could turn out to be a hidden treasure. In today's video, we're diving deep into the story of the 2020 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin that might just make you richer than you think. If you're new here, welcome to the channel where we explore rare coins, valuable pennies, and everything related to coin collecting. If you've been collecting for years or just starting out, this video is packed with the kind of information that can help you identify a true gem hiding in your change. Let's take a closer look. The 2020 D Lincoln penny is part of a long and proud tradition in American coinage. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th birthday of our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. It was the first time a real person, and especially a president, had appeared on a circulating U.S. coin. Over the decades, the design of the Lincoln penny has evolved. But in 2010, the U.S. Mint introduced the Union Shield reverse, which replaced the Lincoln Memorial design used from 1959 to 2008. The Union Shield symbolizes Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one unified nation during the Civil War. The 2020 penny, minted in Denver, that's what the D Mint mark stands for, continues this shield design. But something about this year's coin has caught the attention of collectors, hobbyists, and treasure hunters alike. Let's talk about how to identify a genuine 2020 D Lincoln penny. Start by looking at the obverse, or the front side, of the coin. You'll see Lincoln's portrait facing right. Just below the year 2020, on the right-hand side, you should see the small letter D. That's the Denver Mint mark, indicating where the coin was struck. On the reverse side, you'll find the Union Shield, featuring 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies joined under a single banner. At the top, you'll see the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Genuine coins have clean edges, proper spacing in the lettering, and no blurry design elements. Be wary of counterfeit coins or those that have been altered. Now let's get into the technical details of this penny. Weight: 2.5 grams diameter, 19.05 millimeters material, 97.5% zinc, coated with 2.5% copper edge, plain mint mark, D for Denver. Now here's where things get interesting. Some 2020 D Lincoln pennies have been found with errors, and that's where the real value lies. There are a few key error types to watch for: die cracks, small raised lines caused by cracks in the minting die. These can appear on Lincoln's head, shoulders, or around the shield. Off-center strikes. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. Even a 5 to 15% off-center error can bring added value. Double die errors. This is when the design appears doubled, often visible in the letters of Liberty or the date. These are rare, but very valuable. Struck-through errors. If a piece of cloth or debris got between the die and the blank during minting, it can leave an unusual imprint. These error coins are not just fascinating. They are worth real money. So what is a 2020 D penny worth? A worn, circulated penny without errors is still just worth 1 cent. A circulated coin with a minor error could be worth anywhere from $1 to $10. The clean, uncirculated coin, especially one with a known error, might fetch between $20 and $100. Certified coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds of dollars, particularly if the error is rare. Let me give you a few real-world examples. In early 2023, a 2020 D penny with a visible die crack sold at auction $4.75. A double die variety, authenticated and graded as MS66 by PCGS, went for nearly $300. An off-center strike error sold on eBay for $150. Despite the coin being lightly circulated, it really depends on the condition, error type, and whether the coin has been professionally graded. So, can one small penny really change your life? Well, maybe not all at once. But if you happen to come across a 2020 D Lincoln penny with a rare error, it could be the start of a new hobby, or even a tidy little payday. These coins are still out there, in jars, in pockets, even in your loose change at the grocery store. The next time you get change back from a purchase, take a moment to look closely at your pennies. You might be holding on to something special. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more insights into rare coins, valuable pennies, and tips for coin collectors of all ages. And if you found a 2020 D penny with an unusual feature, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear about it. Don't forget, Sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises. Happy collecting, and as always,